Welcome back. Pablo Picasso is known as one of the greatest artists in history. Now you can see rare portraits of the artist right here in Vegas. Here with all the details, art consultant Steve Lundquist. Good morning,
well,
good afternoon rather to you. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Great, thank you. You brought in some incredible pieces. Can you tell us about who took these pictures?
Well, actually, these were taken by a young Army photographer by the name of Richard Ham, who was stationed in Paris in 1944. So he had the opportunity to meet the great Picasso in Picasso's studio and photograph him there.
And let's talk about this portrait over here. Can you set up the
Yeah,
scene
actually,
for us?
there were 3 visits with Picasso, and there were 5 people in the room that first day. Richard Ham is the one who's actually kind of leaning down here. He didn't want to block Picasso's painting, which was a good idea. He had 2 people with him, the correspondent Monica Sterling and another Army photographer, Francis Lee, with him. Picasso's in the center. Of course,
with his coat.
His incredible
Why is he wearing
coat.
such a heavy coat?
Because it's cold. It's freezing.
Cold there.
Oh yeah.
This is the winter time.
Oh yeah. Well, you can imagine there was very little, fuel available for heating during the war.
And how do you think Richard, or why Richard, got into his life?
Well, I think Picasso was pretty fed up. It was so grim there when the Nazis were in control until recently. I think it was a breath of fresh air for Picasso to get this call from this young American photographer.
Now let's take a look at the second portrait you brought in here. And that's Picasso. What is the name of this painting?
The name of the painting is Labad. Labad, keep in mind these are black and white photographs, but the actual painting by Picasso had some pretty vibrant colors, though when you look at it closely, you can sense that it's a wartime photograph. It's, painting. I'm sorry. It's a, it kind of has a dark theme to it. There's some blacks and grays in the room. Actually, there's a musician. Labad means the serenade. So you see a musician here. It was painted in blues and grays. And the woman lying down is painted in skin tones. But when you look at this closely, I don't know if you can see it from there, but she looks very uncomfortable. It's almost like she's, the musician seems to be happy about it, so it's almost like she's imprisoned. You get the feeling that it's kind of like Picasso felt during the war under Nazi rule.
Are there a lot of portraits of Picasso floating around?
Very few, very few. In fact, Jeff Mitchum feels these are the finest portraits of Picasso ever accomplished.
And
They're that
why
good.
do you think he went underground so much and didn't want his picture taken?
Picasso? He was just his own man.
A recluse, sort of?
Yeah, kind of, but very famous in his lifetime.
Yes, definitely.
So, do you like Picasso?
Oh, I love Picasso.
Okay.
Can we talk about the third one, too? Tell us about that one.
Now,
what is the name of that portrait?
Okay, now that one is interesting because Picasso, as you can see, he took this first one. He came downstairs for the photo session in his lightweight cotton shirt and his baggy pants and his slippers. But then he went back up and put that coat on, that full-length camel hair coat, because once again it was freezing there. He also had this Scottish tam on his head, which is kind of perched on his head when he came down. So very interesting photographs. And
we can see all of this artwork for free at your gallery.
Yeah, either one of our galleries. We have them both sets of 5 photographs. They're all black and white, incredible quality. They're all 20 by 16 inches. And they're both in both Bellagio Gallery, Jeff Mitchum Gallery at Bellagio, Jeff Mitchum Gallery at MGM Grand. And I might mention also that the Bellagio Gallery also now Bellagio has a showing of Picasso's work right next to our gallery. So you combine a visit to see some of Picasso's work with these incredible photographs.
So you can see more of Picasso.
Absolutely,
by
at Bellagio
two
Gallery.
Places, yes. Yeah. And we have a portrait here of him, and again in that coat. Do we know where this coat is?
I have no idea.
Is it a mystery?
No idea, but I love that photograph. You actually see a little twinkle in Picasso's eye, which I think would be very rare. This is a very serious guy.
Yes, and can we buy this collection here?
You can buy the whole collection at either one of the galleries.
And go visit.
As far as pricing, we also, they're generally sold as sets, but we have a few individual pieces available as well. Pricing is anywhere from $4,200 to $5,200 for the individual pieces.
They're incredible. Thank you so much for sharing them with us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. To see these incredible portraits of Picasso for yourself, head to the Jeff Mitchum Galleries located inside the Bellagio and the MGM Grand. We'll be right back.